Welcome to Coffee with Jude. The other day I decided that maybe I've been drinking coffee since I was in kindergarten and maybe I should try something new. And so I had breakfast tea for breakfast and I just couldn't golf for crap. And so was it because of the tea? I think I needed coffee. So I'm back to drinking coffee. Good thing, because, it's Coffee with Jude, so that's a good thing. When I was in kindergarten, the nuns went around the room and asked people what they had for breakfast. And I said, I had coffee and toast, and I was in kindergarten. And the nun said, "Oh my gosh, what? You're drinking coffee? You're not supposed to be drinking coffee." And I was mortified and embarrassed. And my mom used to fix a little bit of coffee and a lot of milk, and I drink that in the morning. And I've always loved coffee. Yep. What am I thinking about this episode for Coffee with Jude? I really miss not writing memoir. I'm writing a children's book. It's a story about Lucy who lives by the railroad tracks and she can't learn her times tables, and then this guy named Frito comes down from Munchkin Mars and teaches her his secret stories, and she learns the times tables. It's a lot of fun to write, but I really miss writing memoir, and I've been thinking, well, what could I write about? And the thing that keeps coming up is the dissolution of a marriage. And I'm thinking a lot about my relationship with Dave Rodriguez and how did that come down? I was so in love with him. We were married for 28 years, and he was a kind man, and he was a good dad, and he was a super amazing athlete. So much happened during our 28-year marriage. There were things that happened that hurt me deeply and were abusive to me. And I think that writing my story would really help me process what went down. But then I think, well, I don't really want to hurt his name. He's still alive. He's my children's father. But I want to be honest, and I have to tell the true story. And there's some really juicy stories that would help me go for the pain, which is what I think makes best memoir. So what I decided is I'm going to start writing some of these stories from that time. And I'm not going to think about publishing it. I'm just going to be writing it for myself. And, the other night I woke up in the middle of the night and I was listening to the Eagles song, "You Can't Hide Your Lion Eyes. Your smile is a thin disguise." And I got so sad because it just brought me back to the times when I was married to Dave, and he was doing things that he kept secret and were harmful to me. And I got so sad, and I realized that it's okay to feel this. It's okay to process these feelings. And it's been a long time. I've been divorced already 28 years, as long as I was married, which is incredible. Of course, it's still coming up because he was a big part of my life and I loved him, and a lot happened during our 28-year marriage. And so I think I'm just going to write, and I'm not going to worry about who reads it and who I'm going to hurt. I'm just going to write it for myself. And so I guess that's what memoir to me is all about, is figuring out yourself and understanding what makes you who you are today, And a lot of my story with Dave makes me who I am today. And it might not be the dissolution of a marriage, it might be just the journey of a marriage. Because there were a lot of things that were good too. But the story that hurts me and that I need to write about are the things that happened that were hard for me to swallow and accept. So, yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. Just write some stories for myself. Okay, well, tune into Coffee with Jude. I'm gonna probably write a blog post about memoir not having to be a published book. Memoir can be a transformative healing process. And that's what I'm going to write about this week. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.